Good morning. Welcome to Sew Like a Pro. I'm making a coat for my great-grand. So I wanted to show you how to sew faux fur to faux fur. First of all, I use the razor, remember, just to cut it so we don't lose any of the nap. But you can take the razor and go back and cut away all the fur away from the seam allowance. But if you don't want to do that, look, we're going to pin the two together just so they don't shift and move, because they will. And put it up underneath the foot. I'm going to sew a few stitches to secure it, to keep it in place. And then I'm going to take my scissors to take the fur itself and push it underneath so I can see my seam allowance. When you put these together, now you can go back and do a double stitch. See, I keep brushing this under so I can see that they lining up on top of each other and I'm getting my true seam allowance. And you can do a double stitch and go back and trim it away. It's up to you which way you want to finish the inside. And I find that the pressure foot is really pushing this a lot. So what I do, I'm going to check at the bottom and see. You see that if it's stretching too much, then I stitch this halfway and flip it, pin the bottom and stitch the other one the opposite way so they are meet in the middle, because you don't want one coming out longer than the other, because it's pretty heavy and it will push it, and then you end up with one seam longer than the other. Now that's the same way I do fabric. Sometimes when you sew your fabric, the one stretches and it pushes the other. You either push it back to keep it lined up, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some pressure on this so I can keep it to stay exactly where I need it. I don't want it stretching and coming out longer than my other side. So what I do is when I finish this, see, keep pushing the fur in so I can see that they coming out at the same seam allowance. Put pressure down on that, keep them in place. At the end, just back stitch and lock them together. You cut this thread, and when you open it up, look. That's a beautiful seam. I just take my nail like that to get the hair out of the seam, open it up. And when you finish that, look, it just blends right in with the other seams. Use your razor to cut it so you can keep the fur hanging nice and low. But now, since you stitch your fur together, fur to fur is a little different than fur to fabric. And then you can go back and stitch it again and then trim all the extra out to eliminate the bulk off the seams, because we're really not trying to press fur. We don't want to make it flat. So I'm going to just do another roll of stitches right next to the seam I did already. This one is going to be much easier and faster because I don't have to try and hold it together. A nice small stitch. Do a big stitch at first in case you mess up. You can easily pick it out. Then you can do a really nice small little fine stitch, and then some sharp scissors or a single edge razor blade and trim the extra fur off and to eliminate the bulk out of the seam. And sew like a pro. God bless all your sewing projects.